I just love it when it hits 7:30. Hello, people. Good to see you guys. Fix my hair. How you going, everybody? This is my lovely model, Sky. She has come to hang out with me and leave her 2-year-old to get tucked into bed by her father. How good is that? We all know that feeling. Well, a lot of us might know that feeling. Some of us may not. Hi, Terry. How you doing? Well, we've just been... Actually, I'm going to get your phone, Sky, because then we can show them all the photos of who we're vibing tonight, because I can't take my screen off to show you what Sky and I have just been fangirling. Can maybe go to Instagram.
Yeah.
So, another hair in my face. Hey, Jackie. So good to have you guys online. Tonight we are doing Effortless Cool Girl hair. Now, for those of you who didn't know, that was a hair trend. It is. So we're going to show you, if you go accounts, and it's like C. Yep, that top one. Yep. So I'm going to bring up, anybody remember, we found out tonight she was a Victoria's Secrets model. Her name is Christy Turlington. Now I'm going to show you, bringing a photo of a phone picture. So this is Christy in the blazer, Christy Turlington. And we're basically showing you guys, where is the nice, here we go. This like soft, wrong way. Soft, really natural curl set, and how we can achieve just a different look. It's not a traditional way of how I would have told you guys how to style. So I think it's really great. I took another photo, but it was from, I'll see if I can find it. Chris, was it Chris or Tom? Chris? No, Tom. I can't remember his name. Anyway, that's the state of my brain. But I'm going to tell you why my brain is this way. Mainly because I'm a mother and so many other things. But I got a ridiculously large bouquet of flowers today. And let me put this down so I don't spill them. We had a really cool announcement today. And I feel like this is the kind of place I'd love to share it, because you're my squad and you guys are all my friends, and you've been on this journey with us, and we have been in the process of applying for the Telstra Business Awards. And today we found out we reached our goal, and we are a state finalist for outstanding growth in our business. So that makes it, the only reason this is possible is partly because of you guys and our hardworking team and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, so I got here late for for Sky, because I had all these people visiting to congratulate us, and my husband left our flowers here so I could show you guys. So thanks, Ronnie, for leaving them here so I can show all the squad of that. So yes, but let's get into hair, because that's what we really want to do. And I'm going to let you, Sky, just explain your hair type a little bit, and what you normally do with your curls.
So my hair
Meet Sky
is quite thin, but there's a lot of it. And I have a lot of different types of curls in there. Some really, really tight.
I'll show you some in a moment.
And some a bit looser and more relaxed. Normally, when my hair is wet, I just pop in with the Power Gel and then the Chutzpah foam once it's scrunched dry a little bit more, and just let it air set.
Beautiful. And then how many days do you normally get from your wash day?
2 to 3, depending on weather.
Cool. So fine, but lots of strands. Very mixed textured hair. We have got quite, it's almost like coarse ringlets under here. Like it just sits so frizzy and ultra textured underneath here. And then it moves to kind of more her mid curl. And then some bits around the front, do they go a little bit straighter in normal weather, but then if it's humid,
they get really corkscrewy?
Yes.
Yeah.
So there's this weird curl type that in some weather almost looks straight and kind of flat wavy. But then it's like it's like those reversible shirts. Then you can like flip it and the weather changes and then all of a sudden you have corkscrews. Like, it's just weird. Would you explain that?
Yeah, that's exactly how it is.
Yeah. And so it's weird that some days I'll have a client sit in my chair and they'll be like, oh, that part's normally like a ringlet. And then we style it and it's more dependent upon the humidity of the day, or the method of styling will sometimes create the complete opposite curl factor. So, hello everybody. So many of you guys are jumping on. So nice. Who's ready for some effortless cool girl hair? Yes? Amazing. So we have already hydrated and cleansed and hydrated Sky's hair tonight. And I'm going to actually ask you, Sky, to explain, because we've already been chatting, explain why and when you use cruise control, because you don't use it as a staple.
No, so I only use it if I know it's going to rain or if it's going to be really humid. I use it in conjunction with the Power Gel and I mix it together, and it just adds for me that little bit of extra weight without it being still too heavy. So I still get movement and definition.
Yeah. Otherwise, her hair can go a bit berserko on that humid weather, because in humidity, what happens is there is more moisture molecules in the environment around us, which creates a prime opportunity for our hair to wander from its little family of curls and try and find moisture. So by using a little bit of cruise control, it helps to put that extra bit of hydration around the strand to try and keep it in the family, as opposed to letting it just wander and search for moisture in the air around it. So for those of you who have that, flirty type of hair, let's call it flirty curls. You've got flirty curls.
Wandering.
Wandering. I think that sounds worse. Anyway, for those of you that have that curl type, that you know if you have that hair type, because humid days are just, a nemesis for us, a little bit of cruise control and in with your styler. Do you mix it together?
Yeah.
You don't layer it or anything?
No, mix it straight together.
Perfect. Well, I actually I'm a POW hardcore girl, and I actually mixed POW and cruise control this morning for something different. And but it's not really humid weather, so but I just did it for fun. Okay, so I am going to put some cruise control. Reason being is this effortless cool girl vibe, Christy Turlington. I'm really not a fangirl of like supermodels. I think if she was in a movie that I loved, I would remember her name. She looks like Jessica Biel. And who else did you say from Game of Thrones? Was it No.
Yeah. I can't remember her name.
You have to bring it up. She has the same nose and structure as this other. We were just trying to stalk all the people that she possibly looks like.
Gwendolyn Christie.
Gwendolyn Christie, for those of you who are Game of Throners. But yes, so I want to weigh the curls down a fraction and not make them look too producty. So cruise control is wonderful for that. Now I'm going to show you guys, for those of you who don't know the consistency of cruise control, I think it's really good. These nights are here just to really help you understand a bit more about the range. So it's not a crazy thick cream. You can use this in your kids' hair. You can use it after the ocean, after swimming. This is a really good summer product, especially if you've got kids with curly hair. Oh, this is so good after they've been in the pool. I have a tube next to my sunscreen because we have a pool in our backyard. So for tonight, I'm going to do because we're doing effortless cool gal hair, we're doing some effortless styling. So we're just going to split the hair in half. This is not meant to be a time-consuming routine. I'm trying to show you how to undo a big and busy routine and create something different, okay? Now, for those of you who don't have cruise control and maybe you're sitting on the fence about it, you can just get the little mini sizes of them to try out first. So totally take advantage of that. But you won't regret cruise control. Have you ever just used it on its own in your hair, Sky?
I'm a big fan of the after pull use as well.
Yes.
Because chlorine dries it out so much.
Yeah.
But yeah. Or if I'm just having a lazy day at home, just pop it in after a shower.
Now, I'm going to show you guys this strand. Wait a second. I have to make some room for this light to come forward. I want to show you. This is the cool thing about curly hair. Is if I could maybe show you on a towel so you can see the contrast here. I don't know how well you guys can see this, but it is really common to, I don't know if any of you curlies have got a strand every now and then that feels like a piece of steel wool in a way. It's so heavily textured. It doesn't really sit as part of the rest of the curls. This is really normal. It just means that your follicle grows a little bit differently there and produces a slightly more textured strand that has a lot more spring, is less willing to sit with the rest of the curls. Do not freak out. Do not think you've got a malfunctioning follicle. None of the above. It is completely normal. Some people even, and I'm sure that some of you would have seen it if you've styled your kids' hair or you've got a friend with really curly hair, and it almost looks like doll's curly ringlets.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen those?
Yeah. On like a porcelain doll.
Yes.
Yeah.
And some people have them throughout their straight hair, like dead straight hair, has these tiny little corkscrew curls. So just understand, nothing is abnormal. It's all completely normal. People with straight hair have them. And all that differs is the angle of the follicle. Produces a different outcome. Now, who's got a question for me tonight? I really love question time. Otherwise, I'm just going to keep styling. Sky's going to catch me up in case I miss a question. She's going to help me not. Or if we go past, if you ask a question and heaps of people ask one at the same time, then make sure you re-ask it. Okay. So now I have created a really nice primed, consistent application of cruise control. Sky's hair is what I would call, or actually, what would you call this? Would you call this damp or wet?
Oh, pretty wet.
Okay, cool.
Pretty wet.
This is wet for her. Now, wet for me is something different because my hair is really thick. So I would call this almost damp hair because for me it feels different. And this is one of the wonderful different things about the world is everybody's hair thickness. Wet hair could feel so different to Sky than it could to me. So for Sky, this is actually pretty wet. And I'm going to stick with my middle part for this, this styling. And we're going to go in with Power because that is Sky's product of choice and a great one. Matches my top tonight. You're welcome. It actually matches the, look at that.
Perfect.
Perfect matching. So how much would you normally use in your hair?
Probably about that per side.
Per side. Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. We're going to go with the same if not slightly less. One of the things with the effortless cool girl hair, feels like such a funny thing to say, but it's a trend, it's a vibe. Ask Tom Smith, That's my trend forecaster that I follow. One of the things is it's quite a softer, more natural, more awakened. So if we make it too styled and too controlled, we're not going to get the effortless cool girl kind of vibe like Christy Turlington. So I'm going to actually just start by dispersing some of it through the ends of both first. And then, where do you get the frizziest? Is it the hairline?
Oh, underneath.
No, it is that underneath
It's
where
underneath.
it's really tight.
Yeah.
So find your point of frustration, aka frizz zone, and make sure you really ribbon that hair. Now, ribboning or milking or pushing the product in, dispersing the product, all those sorts of words, but you want to make sure you're doing a really great application and kind of dosing up those drier zones. It's kind of like when you moisturize your feet, you put the thickest moisturizer on the backs of your heels or your dry zones because you know that's where it needs it most. So same kind of assessment here with molting hair. I ate one of Sky's hair strands before, and I was doing a little live hello on my Instagram, got in my mouth. But yeah, so good tip is make sure before you wash your hair, you become aware of, or you remember where your most problematic sections are and really focus on working the product into those zones. Now, nobody's asked me any questions yet. What are you all doing at home? You just all got it. Just understand. Surely there's some newbies in here tonight that have a burning question. They have used some LOHY and maybe you didn't get the result you were hoping for, or maybe it didn't give you that lovely soft feeling and you want to ask us why. This is the space to ask me. So first up, I distributed the product with my hands to get it off my hands, okay? Then I'm coming through with our flexi brush, and now I'm really working the product and making sure any little tangles are not present. And because I know Sky has got a really coily frizzy zone underneath, I'm making sure I'm really focusing on that area as well. So many lovely people are joining us tonight. Okay, so you can choose with your effortless cool girl hair whether you want to wear it parted down the middle. Sky wears her hair parted down the middle, so we're going to go with a middle part for her. And what I'm doing right now is we might just look to the phone. Yep. Perfect. Yep. I'll just give this a little. Oh, thought that would be easier, but not quite so easy. What we're going to do is what I'm just doing. So you could do this if you were doing this at home. You would be leaning your head to the side and just raking out. And what I'm trying to do, if your hair tangles quite easily, you may want to use the brush for this step. And I'm just kind of raking it out. Now, if I raked Sky's hair straight down or brushed it down, I'm creating no lift or no room for movement through that top section. That's a problem. We want to allow her natural texture to just do its own thing. So making sure we either rake our fingers or use a brush to get that lift, wherever you find a tangle, just gently work on that. And then the same through here. Now, if you're somebody who's guilty of a flat crown, which a lot of us are, one really great thing to do is basically drop your head down, and wherever you can kind of see where your head starts to drop off is run your fingers in like a circle, right? And grab that clump of curl. So it's almost like a halo, like a circle on the top of your crown. and grab that section. Once you're happy with the front, grab that section and just brush it straight up like so. And then let it fall, and then you will know that you haven't got hair that's kind of split and exposing your crown through the back there. So make sure before you start styling, drop your head forward, take a circle, brush that all up, hit the ceiling, brush that all up, and you'll find that you will get rid of any separation through the back there. Okay, now we're going to twirl and just show everyone the back of your lovely hair. Okay, so what we can see now is, for those of you who are able to see, yep, perfect, is you can start to see that Sky's hair is actually separating and kind of doing its own thing really well. I do want to re-clump it back together a little bit more. Kim Coates, I have a quest. I'm almost at, I missed a question. Can't believe it.
I have my head down.
I'm almost at the end of my bottle of Pow. Love it, but it's suddenly not holding really well. I'm thinking maybe I just need a trim to lighten things up, or do you think clarifying would help? Kim, send me in a picture of your hair, number one. Both of those could be a thing. Sometimes my hair, like you're due, did you say you're due for a cut?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you find that when you're ready for a cut, you feel like your curls aren't holding as well?
Yes.
I mean, your hair's, this is finer hair. So the issue is in thicker, heavier hair like mine, that would be a problem. I'm not sure if in fine hair it is the same problem. Or do you think that when your hair's due for a cut, Pow doesn't seem to hold it as well?
I find it does still hold, but I don't quite get the results I was getting when it's the length that I'm used to. When it gets really long,
yes,
the curl changes for me.
You get a lot of lag,
and it gets heavier, so they're a lot more weighted down and not as springy. Yeah. So it doesn't hold the curl that I like. Yeah. That's so it could be, Kim, what you're thinking. It could be that you just need a haircut. Pow is always a product you can use. And if you're feeling like it's not giving you enough hold, have you ever tried Schutz Bar over the top? Because that's what gives me my texture and my hold, which really assists the Pow. So yeah, that would be one thing I would recommend to try. Renee, can I ask why you're using damp hair? Is it because it's on the finer side? Yes. It is because it's on the finer side. One thing with finer hair is that if it's too wet, it all just like becomes like 5 curls. And then you don't get any variation or capacity for the styling so much. Yeah. So I just find if it was wavy hair that I was really trying to make curly, I would probably have it wetter. But you saw then I just dampened it down, Renee, and that was, if you rewind the video when you replay it, you'll see how much it just helped those little random strands jump back into their friends, and just give a little bit more definition. So if at any point, this is a really good one for any newbies, if at any point you're styling your hair and you notice it starts to get frizzy, what I would recommend is dampen that section down and just grab wherever it's frizzing, if it's this section here, and just re-ribbon that section. Give it a little scrunch if you need to, and just let it find its friends again. So you can always add a tiny bit more product, but the water will reactivate the product that you've already put in. So that's a really good tip. Now, I need to plug this hairdryer in. We aren't going to do any towel drying today. Wrong light. We aren't going to do any towel drying today because I'm really happy with how it's just sitting here. Finer hair is fiddly. Finer hair can sometimes get
frizzy and fly away with the wrong amount of touch. So I want to do as little touch as possible to create this cool girl, effortless cool girl hair. Now we will look straight ahead just for one moment. Your sweet little coarse hair strand over here is trying to jump out again. Now, one of the big things that they're talking about with volume, and you would be able to see it on my hair. So I'll just take Sky out of the spotlight for a second, is I have my hair parted in the middle, yet I still have a lot of volume. Now, my volume is not up the top here. My volume is in the width of my hair, okay? So if you are somebody that has finer hair, so you don't naturally have as much volume of hair as I do, one of the things you can do is come in on the diagonal with your volume combs and set them on the sides. They don't have to exclusively be used there and give you a big like cockatoo moment, unless that's the vibe, you know, you just want as much top volume as you can possibly get your hands on. Well, then that's wonderful, then totally do that. But if you are somebody that does want that side width to your curls, slide your combs on the diagonal through those side pieces so that you get a really nice, fuller, more consistent shape through there without feeling like, you know, I went to school with a few girls that did physical culture, without feeling like you're a fizzy girl. So that's a really good one. Okay, Renee, might be good for me. Yes, perfect. It'd be great for your curls. Carol, I have the LOHY combs and love them, but would love to see a demo of how to place them. Oh, I just answered that. One of the tricks that we're finding on finer hair, have you used these at all?
No, I don't have them.
Okay, we'll give you a set tonight. One of the things in finer hair is if they go in the hair and your hair dries the whole time with them in, it's almost like you get a little kink, like a pleat in your hair because of the ability for your hair to get indented really easily. So my hair being thicker, more robust, it can have a kink in it and it doesn't affect the overall vibe. So one of the tricks is don't put them in at the sides here and then bring them up. Just take them from a smaller amount. So you're literally just focusing a smaller amount of hair to cluster together, and you won't put so much indentation in, and you won't feel like you get so much flyaway or hooked up hair. So yeah, have a try of that, Carol, and hopefully that helps. But yeah, another trick sometimes I do is I put them in. Sue Ellen is sometimes on this chat, but Sue Ellen, one of my clients, she comes in and we start diffusing. We put them in once the curl structure's there to support, and then at the last, like when she's kind of like 10% left to still dry, we take them out and just let the curls fall in their natural space so that they don't get stuck. So they're a support system, maybe not for the whole time though. That's my tip to you, Carol. Okay. Looks like I've been having cockatoo moments. Cockatoos. And I love it, Kim, the fizzy girl. Yes. Okay, so what we're going to do now is, because I know how much curl is in Sky's hair. Let's bring Sky back in. We don't need to look at me all the time. I'm not going to just yet put my volume combs in. I'm just going to see for a little bit. And Effortless Cool Girl Hair, ECGH. That's not really an easy thing to remember. No. I thought it might be a word I could make up, but nope. Effortless Cool Girl Hair. We basically want the hair to dry in its natural shape. We're not trying to build big barrels. once it's dry, we can get in there and really tussle it up, giving it really big shapes. But while it's drying, no, we're just really letting it dry natural. So if you are a mum who thinks you don't have much time in your life to do cool hair, you don't actually need time to do effortless cool girl hair. How good is that? So make sure you don't rule yourself out of looking cool because you don't have time. This look, or Christy Turlington's look, and who was the other model? She's super famous. Yes. You know, they literally just show this off, this beautiful natural tousled look, and just put a bit of lip gloss on. I completely didn't wear makeup tonight because I've got brows on, but everybody needs a brow. But it's something that, did you see Pamela Anderson at Fashion Week the other day?
No.
She came with no makeup on her face, like zero. And she's like, I'm embracing me. I'm not trying to cover anything. She just had a beautiful Victoria Beckham gown on, heels, a nice bag, and she just let her natural beauty show. And I would have worn makeup, but I ran out of time because I was ultra distracted tonight. So, but maybe I'm just having a Pamela moment. But yes, effortless cool girl hair is about not looking so done. It's about really embracing. I saw Pamela and her interview. It was really good, Renee. I think it's having 3 daughters at the moment, and it's my 9-year-old daughter who's telling me to stop wearing makeup because she told me that I don't need it and I look better without it. So I'm listening to her. But it's really beautiful to see beauty trends shifting in a really healthy way. Would you agree, Sky?
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Yeah. So much more inclusion and acceptance for just being proud of who you are and the skin you're in. Hey, Tess. Now, Tess had ultimate effortless cool girl hair the other day. I don't know if it was today, Tess, but I feel like you need to drop a picture. Tess's hair is really thick. It's a little bit coarser than my hair and probably as curly as yours. But because it's thicker, it almost looks wavier.
Yeah.
Because of the heaviness of it. And she's a cruise control girl. Because she doesn't like perfect looking curls. So we're literally just letting this dryer just basically blow air throughout Sky's hair. I'm not trying to fiddle or like make it look like I would normally fiddle. I'm controlling myself. So even if you are letting your hair air dry and you're thinking, oh my gosh, it doesn't look that good, just leave it, okay? Don't touch. And you should see Sky's little ringlets under here.
They're so small.
Is it a son?
Yeah.
Yeah, does he have curls?
No.
Oh my god.
No, he doesn't. And it broke my heart.
Little boys with curly hair are the cutest.
No, he's got dead straight hair.
Or maybe if you have another baby.
Well, fingers crossed.
Hopefully you get somebody with curly hair. Okay, Margaret, I missed the beginning. Which product are you using? We're using Sky's product of choice, which is Pow. But I did underneath put some cruise control, Margaret. And Sky would often, if she was doing a curl set, she would do Pow and Schutz Bar, which we know is a game. It's a good combo. Like she's in the elite product selection. That is my kind of product. But because we want a little bit more weight and softness to curl, we have put cruise control in. You said earlier you could put Schutzbar over Pow. You can do this with, or can you also do this with Yes, you can. You can layer any of the products in any order. That is one of the greatest things, is that there's no don't. The only time I say don't is don't put Hush on wet hair. Do you know why I would say that, Sky?
Because oil and water don't meet.
Oh, goodness. It's like an A+ student here. Total A+ student. So yeah, I could layer some Schutzbar, but I know because I haven't put huge amounts of products, I'm going to get a lot of her natural texture coming through. And I don't really want to, I just want to let it be its own hero. So we're going to just leave her hair just doing its own thing. So I'm not scrunching up the curls. This is me just flat diffusing. If you're someone that's trying to speed it up, you can just literally lay the hair over the diffuser like that. Sometimes when you blow it onto your skin, you feel the heat of the hair dryer and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm getting too hot. So then you can just literally lay the diffuser facing out and you'll be able to sit it there for a bit longer. Kim, maybe I've been doing it wrong. I usually do then plop or glove, and then Pow. No, that's perfect. So for me, Pow is my foundation product, so I want maximum amount of it. So I then layer over the top a smaller amount of Schutzbar because that's my accent product. Would you say that's a similar thing for you?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Yeah.
But this morning, I put a little bit of cruise control underneath because I knew I was doing this effortless cool girl hair and I felt like I wanted to be a bit of a effortless cool girl as well. So I put a little bit of prep underneath first, which is our cruise control, our primer. And it did make a softer, this would normally be how my hair would feel on day 2 on a wash day. I would never get this soft to touch, like really tousled ends on a wash day. I'd still normally have a lot more structure. So if you are using first, that's totally fine. You are using a softer gel and you are accenting it with a stronger gel. That is not the wrong way of doing it. You could try for fun the other way around and see which one you prefer. People get scared because of the stronghold gel. Do not be afraid. It's not actually
military style.
No.
You can still scrunch it out.
Yes. It still feels touchable afterwards. It's just, in its space. Not as whimsical. Yeah. So much shine and happiness here. Hi, Suzanne. So many wonderful curlies joining us. Now, at this point, you could almost come through. I'm just going to bring some of Sky's hair forward. You can start to see that she's just getting that beautiful model vibe, number 1. But this is the time you could come through and slide in some of these volume combs. Now, I can't do it because I could only find one set. So I'm not doing that tonight. But if I could find another set, then I would do it. But I probably wore them home one night from work. And Sky's seen the state of my messy studio room. There's even a dog bone over there that my dog Peaches chews on in here. So, yeah. Okay, Linda. I have curly grey hair that I'm growing out. It seems very dry. Yes, these products are great. Hush will become your essential item. You will need that every time before you wash your hair. Use about 2 full droppers and milk that through your dry hair the night before you wash your hair, Linda, and you'll see great improvement in the touchability. Yes. There is, that's actually probably what we should do next live, is do a hush tutorial, because Sky's going to explain how she uses hush.
I use it close to my wash day. I usually get 2 to 3 days, but I only ever put it on my mid-lengths and ends, because otherwise it makes my scalp real oily. But any residue left on my hands, I rub it into my face, and it's beautiful face oil.
Yeah. Such a good face oil. My girlfriend uses it on her eczema, and it's made her eczema go away. So if anyone else has eczema, hey Sandy, she's been on the lives before. Sandy, she's sat in your chair, Sky. But yeah, so if anyone has really that dry eczema type skin, sometimes I put a few drops in the bathtub. I really love having oil in my bath, and then when I get out of the bath, I don't even need to moisturize. Have you ever done that, Sky?
I don't have a bath big enough for adults.
Okay,
but when we did, a couple of drops was always nice.
Yes.
But I did have a friend who put a few too many drops in a hot bath, and she burnt her skin.
Burnt her skin?
Yeah.
Ooh. Like of an essential oil?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because hush is a form, like it's just all pure oil.
Yeah.
You can't burn your skin with it. So she couldn't OD on too much hush. Renee, I love hush and leave it in all night. Can keep it in yes, you can keep it in longer than 24 hours. All that happens, so to answer Linda, your question as to why your hair is feeling so dry, is as we get older, our sebaceous glands, which are at the base of each follicle, our sebaceous glands stop excreting natural oils. Now, we know that because as you get older, your skin gets drier, our elasticity goes, everything starts to kind of go, right? That is not news to us females. We understand that. But what happens is, the thing that our body once used to take care of, it no longer takes care of. And so, because I'm such a teacher person, I'm just going to come around here. So, this section here is called the cuticle. It's like the fish scales that layer and protect your hair strand. When we're in the shower, everything we do is about filling the sponge, the inside, the squishy bit, the cortex, okay? But the cuticle layer in somebody like Sky, 28, me, 34, we still have active sebum glands, sebaceous glands. So our skin gets oily, our hair gets oily, which means our cuticle gets nourished by the sebum in our body. Now, as we get older, they start to die off or start to excrete less and less natural oils. So what can happen is your hair strands start to feel dry all the time. Dry. Your skin feels dry, all those sorts of things. So there was a part of your body that used to take care of it, but it now no longer does. So using the hush, some of my clients, they'll do it kind of like halfway through their wash cycle, and then they'll get another good few days. So give that a try, Carol, using the Hush when you start to feel your hair is getting unmanageable or really dry or to touch. Now, because Sky's got quite textured hair underneath, it would be a saving grace for those coarser, and I showed you that little, it's still sitting here on top.
It's staring at you.
It's staring at me. It literally is staring at me. So yeah, so you can use the Hush as your hair's kind of surface moisturizer, like what your oily scalp would have once taken care of. And just rub it all over yourself. Put it anywhere. If you get a dry, flaky scalp, the new applicator, I'll show you. Got a glow up. I've got an old bottle on the ground. But the new applicator, you can just run that through your scalp and give yourself a little scalp rub. And we're working on refill pouches for the Hush because the bottles are just so beautiful now that you never want to throw them away. And I was just telling Sky that the little mini Hush is a really great size to just carry in your handbag. I use it as a perfume. My husband is commenting on my behalf. Margaret Brown missed the beginning. Which products? I totally answered her question already, Ronnie. But for those of you who have just joined, we are using cruise control first, and then we're using Pow over the top. And yes, Renee, you can use the Hush for more than 24 hours. Because if you have oily hair, and for me, if I don't wash my hair for a week, I'm leaving my natural oil in there for a week. So it's no different. Hush is less stinky. Way less stinky.
So much less stinky.
So much. Kim, what kind of temp are you using while diffusing? I'm using 1 heat and 3 fan. And occasionally now, because we're getting to the almost dry spot, I'm using the cold shot when I'm on Sky's near her scalp or her body. So I just push my thumb. If you have a hairdryer that has that cold function, just place your thumb on that or your finger or however you can choose it. And it just means you can leave the air blowing on the hair longer than what you would want to. Looking gorgeous, Sky.
Thank you.
She even spelled your name right. What a gem.
Legend.
Hi, Natasha. So Effortless Cool Girl Hair is coming at you. And there's been some really good questions tonight, so make sure if you have one that you think isn't even a good question, but it's a question that you have, it probably is a good question, it's just that we're super judgmental of ourselves, hit me with it. Ask me your questions. Even if I've possibly already answered it, don't be ashamed. I'll take your question. So, just to recap, Effortless Cool Girl Hair is basically what it's saying. Effortless hair. And we're using the LOHY products to create that lovely, touchable, soft, yet a little bit of definition. And this is a wonderful hairstyle that you don't have to diffuse. The only reason we're diffusing it is because I want to show you guys how it looks in real time, and not make you all have to wait till tomorrow morning for Sky to hopefully get a moment and take a selfie. So we're diffusing it. But naturally, if she was at home wanting to do this, or you were at home wanting to do this, you would just leave your hair to air dry. Put your product through, give it a really great hydration, and then leave your hair to dry natural and embrace this Christy Turlington vibe, aka a Victoria's Secrets model. So just tell your husbands, you know. Oh, Carol's already shopped. Couldn't help yourself, Carol. Did you use less product to avoid crunchy hair? Margaret, you are so smart. Yes, 100%. And that was the other reason why I used the cruise control, was to create a little bit more softness and a little bit more weighed downness to Sky's finer hair. So, do you feel like you have any questions so far, Sky?
Not really. The only thing, and I pick it on myself all the time, especially is the ridge that I get here. With
Do you
the
not
curl.
like it?
I don't mind it, but sometimes when you're just looking for that extra bit of glowiness, or for it to sit more on my face,
yes,
I can't get it to shift.
Okay.
It just sits there.
Okay, cool. I'm going to wait till it's dry to show you what I want to do.
Yeah.
Okay. But I did feel like I was wondering if these were, because they're so visual, those front bits of our hair. But you can see that I've literally just set them back.
Yeah.
I haven't brought them forward or anything like that. Sandy, I've been embracing the air dry method. Use the diffuser to set the curl, then let dry naturally. So easy. Sandy, you're already doing the effortless cool girl vibe, like Christy Turlington. So there you go. And yes, Renee, hover diffusing. I'm not doing any slinky motions. And I'm almost like patting it down where her very wandering is what you call them. I call them flirty. Wandering curls just want to jump up. So I'm just re-patting them back down. So many beautiful new names and people that I'm meeting tonight. Welcome, everybody. We are doing a live tutorial on Sky's hair. We are doing a very relaxed, effortless vibe tonight, and our inspiration for this evening's hair tutorial is from a more mature ex-Victoria's Secrets model called Christy Turlington. She looks like Jessica Biel. And Jessica Biel is married to Justin Timberlake, and she is a vibe. So it's all a good vibe here tonight is what we're channeling. Okay, Sky?
Definitely.
So we're not doing our traditional building the curls. We are literally just letting them dry in their natural fall. You can see here, I have put the dryer in and I'm bringing it up a little bit on the sides. I'm just trying to get a little bit more airflow in at the roots here. And also just let the front just do its own beautiful natural thing. Because one of my beautiful original girls that used to work for me in my salon, Jade, the mum of 2 beautiful babies now, she wrote me this beautiful blog. And in the blog, she wrote this captivating line that I forget a lot of things, but I have never forgotten this. And it said, "A straightie would kill for your worst curl day." And so I think sometimes we strive for perfection. Guilty, I am. And I want it to always sit perfect. And then sometimes I rock up to work thinking my curls look atrocious, or that's not how I wanted them to look. And I get like 100 compliments. And so I think we are just really big critics of what we expect things to look like, when actually it's already looking beautiful, and we just need to kind of come on board with the vibe that our hair was wanting to channel and accept it. So yes, welcome some other lovely humans, Judy and Suzanne and Lauren. We're coming to the end of this styling moment, and then we're going to give it a nice little shake out and give you a few little tips. Now, with the lovely warm weather that is upon us here in Australia, this kind of hairstyle is perfect for a brunch or a lunch with friends, where you would literally, you know, just have a shower in the morning, paint your nails, do your face, do whatever you're doing, and leave your hair to just air dry as you get ready. And embrace that really natural, soft, lived-in curl look, or effortless cool girl is what I meant to say. The tiny damp bit at the front here, and then we're going to start to shake it out. Now I've got my hair dryer on low heat and maximum fan. And I'm making sure that my dryer is always facing, majority of the time, down. And if I come in at the sides, I'm keeping it flat to the head. I'm not like pointing it up that way. If I did that, it's going to activate the floof, the wandering, the flyaways. So make sure you just are mindful, if you are going to use a dryer, as to the angles that you hold it, because if you have flyaway or wandering or flirty hair, you just need to be careful. Your ringlets are just breathtaking. Without any scrunching. How long do the big 1 litres actually last? Use by date. It's so hard. I saw Go-To, which amazing brand. They sell like little mini face, like all their products in little mini sizes. And they gave this like little, this should last you X amount. And that's fine, because most people have a similar size face. Now hair though is a different story. So it could last, you've got a 1 litre shampoo, Sky.
Yep.
How long have you had it for?
I have had it for going on, I think, about 5 months now.
Yep.
And
you wash your hair about every second or third day?
Every second or third day. I think there's probably still at least 850 mils in there.
So it does last quite a long time. Like, our products are quite concentrated if you use them correctly. Now in terms of how long do they last, they, on the original packaging it says 36 months. Legally, things are changing at the moment where they're saying you should only say 12 months on your packaging. It's more just to cover my ass. It's not that the product actually, yeah, anyway. I don't really know enough to go any more detailed. My husband would be cringing right now because he's Mr. Ingredients, Mr. Material Safety Data Sheet. So, yes, it's your call. Recommendations. Oh, here he goes, 12 to 18 months. He's like, ugh, that woman talking. So yes, it's your call. But safety standards say to keep your products for 12 to 18 months. But if you're keeping them in a cool, dry, dark room, you will be extending the natural life of them. Okay, now I am completely loving this. So all I'm doing now is coming in and getting that beautiful only with just my fingertips. So for those of you who are new here, we never rake through curls. We only shake, okay? So I'm just doing little zigzags to tussle and get that lovely natural movement happening. And what you can see, because I've set the curls coming back, they almost have a little bit more natural lift around the front. Do you feel like they look like they're sitting a little bit more?
They're definitely a lot more higher than they normally would be, yeah.
And I think the issue is sometimes when that front bit sits really, like if it's dried forward, it feels really lank and almost on your forehead, whereas this is kind of framing your face a little bit more because we've let it just dry in its like kind of more coming off your face.
Yeah.
And then as it falls, it can come in and frame your face but not sit on your face so flat because it didn't dry in this direction. And I'm just softly separating some of those curl clumps because, oh my gosh, Sky's hair is so beautiful. You can start to see under here
how weird it is.
This one has just found a whole little party here. And so wherever you find hair that's ringleting together, if you don't want it, then you can just untwirl it. Another thing you can do to try and elongate or kind of stretch out your curls is just use your hands, just like so. Kind of like imagining, you know, sometimes when you've got to iron that shirt and you just like, you know, try and like pat it down or like rub your hands on it to try and soften it. You can just do that throughout the hair and then just give it a nice little shake. Looks gorgeous, Sky. Looks good. She's having a little positive affirmation moment.
Might blow in the way in the wind later.
As long as your little boy's asleep when you get home.
He should be well and truly asleep.
Amazing. Perfect. Okay, so what we've done here, guys, is achieve effortless cool girl hair. How we did that was we put a little bit of a softer product on first. So we used our cruise control to create more touchable, a little bit more moisture in there, to put a bit more weight because Sky does have quite buoyant, wandering hair. We used less of our stylers, aka POW. Because I wanted it to do its own thing. I didn't want it to look perfect. I didn't want it to look crazy defined because this Effortless Christy Turlington, her vibe is that really kind of natural, just soft, let it be. So if you are looking for a fresh way to wear your curls and you've always been quite religious on the diffuser, because I am guilty as charged, or maybe you're just really like a die-hard gel girl, I dare you to give it a go. Use a bit of cruise control. If you don't have cruise control and you're really desperate to try this, and just put a little bit of conditioner in under your gel first. Nourish and Flourish, not Drench and Quench. The Drench and Quench is too heavy. The shea butters and everything too much. But if you put a little bit of the Nourish and Flourish underneath your styler and put like half your recommended styler in, okay? So everything I did then to dry it, you would either leave it to air dry or you would just hover diffuse. And I think the biggest thing that you'll probably take home from this is to brush your curls back.
Yes.
And let them dry, still with the middle part, but styled back so that as your hair falls forward at the front, you can see how beautifully and softly that falls now on Sky's face. Everybody's loving it. What's good for coarse, fine hair? Exactly what we just did, but put the hush on first before you wash your hair. But exactly what we just did, because I showed you earlier, Michelle, what this, I found it. It's right there. I don't want to pull it out because it will then stay out. But Sky has a few really coarse strands. Most people do So all it is it's just a follicle that just grows out and more texture, some hair strand. Kind of like those little random ones we get on our chins now, guys. Exactly the same. So yes. But what you can see here is not perfect big rotund curls, just her natural curls. She's probably had more time to spend with her family, or more time to bake a cake for a friend, or just sit in the sun and read a book. So think about this choice as being time for yourself as opposed to time stuck with a dryer, and yeah, create some balance in your life. But that is an hour. It flies so quickly. So comment below. Continue. I will keep answering questions as long as the questions keep coming, and drop a photo if you've really stuck with your hair. It's the best way for me to help you. So yeah, but thank you to our lovely model, Sky.
Thank you.
And I'll see you guys next time solving a new conundrum or showing some more hot tips. Bye, guys.